Hey everyone, welcome in to the Father-Son Football Fanatics podcast. That's where you're supposed to jump in and join me. We're glad you're here today. We're a couple days late. There's been so much chaos going on in the NFL with the draft going on. We've been tuning in, watching where these picks are. We've been doing our homework and our research so that you guys have the best information possible. All right, so we've got a good show for you today. We're going to go through some news. There's a lot of it with the draft. And then we're going to do some Would You Rathers. So that's one of our favorite segments. But this is Caden Combs. I'm Michael Combs. We're your hosts for the Father-Son Football Fanatics podcast. So stay tuned for the news.
We have some new news coming in from the draft, first round. Pretty insane news coming to you. It's outrageous. It's not right.
There's so much.
Yeah. But, I mean, not so much, but there's a lot. So, the Eagles and the Titans. The Titans trade up to get the pick that the Eagles did. I believe it's like 12 or 13 to get somebody.
Julio Jones?
He's old. How do I say this? AJ Brown got traded to the Eagles for somebody that's not going to be as good as him. Or maybe we don't know. But
AJ Brown.
I forget who they got. It was a wide receiver. Titans got a wide receiver. Forget who they got. Why can't I think of it?
We'll pull it up and we'll let you know. But AJ Brown to the Eagles. How crazy is that? Here's the interesting thing to me about that trade. I don't know what to think about fantasy value for A.J. Brown now. A.J. Brown was a very solid receiver for fantasy football with the Titans. Man, they had a good, solid team built there. They really had the potential to make a run deep into the playoffs this coming year, assuming Derrick Henry's healthy the whole year. But, I mean, that's just a total game changer. You take A.J. Brown out of the equation. Yes, they brought in Robert Woods. He's a great receiver. Yes, they still have Derrick Henry.
Treylon
Burks. Who knows? Maybe he's this year's Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. But I doubt it. I mean, the likelihood is not very high. And you're giving away A.J. Brown, who's 24 years old, who's proven that he is elite talent on the field. You had Robert Woods join the team. They had the chance to make a solid run. And then they trade A.J. Brown.
Somebody that we don't know is going to be good.
I'm sure there's politics behind it. I'm sure there's business decisions that were made, contract decisions and everything that affected that. But, man, you had a chance to make a run at it, and I feel like they just gave that chance up. And A.J. Brown on the Eagles, I think his fantasy value goes way down.
He wasn't even that good in fantasy.
Jalen Hurts averaged, I think it was 22 or 24 pass attempts per game. You split that up between A.J. Brown, Robert Woods, and Derrick Henry on occasion, and a couple to a tight end.
Who, Jalen Hurts did? Or Ryan?
Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry. I flip-flopped the teams. Jalen Hurts, 22 to 24 pass attempts per game. And I was saying the wrong names. So you split those up between A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Jalen Rager, Goddard, right? Dallas Goddard. No, yeah. I'm getting all my teams confused. All these trades. But you split those up, and then you've got Miles Sanders coming out of the backfield for a few catches, and I mean, he's not going to get that many targets. The Eagles are a run-first offense with Jalen Hurts as their quarterback. I think A.J. Brown's value goes down significantly. But that's enough about him. The next one, another crazy trade. Marquise Hollywood Brown. The Ravens made a trade to the Cardinals for a draft pick position. They traded Hollywood Brown.
And they got a lineman off from our defensive player. They didn't get a wide receiver. There was none left by the 15th pick.
So this tells me the Ravens' game plan for next year, or for this coming season. Run the ball, pass to Mark Andrews. I mean, what else? What other option do you have? You traded away your only good receiver. Yeah, Rashad Bateman, okay, maybe he steps up and is a good receiver this year. There are going to be some targets that are going to have to be given to somebody else with Marquise Brown not there. But I think, maybe Mark Andrews' value stays the same or goes up. Maybe the running backs, Gus Edwards and I'm drawing a blank on all these J.K. Dobbins. I'm drawing a blank on all these players tonight.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
We're tired.
But maybe they get a little bit more. But I think, the big takeaway is Lamar's going to run or he's going to pass to Mark Andrews. That's essentially their game plan. So
double cover Mark Andrews.
But
put an extra defensive lineman on the field.
I think this takes Hollywood Brown's fantasy value and it spikes it up. Because he's always been one that I've been really nervous to take in fantasy football because he just doesn't have a quarterback that can throw the ball that much.
Yes.
But
if we're doing wide receivers, I'm not going to tell you, but I have a fantasy. Would you rather pick?
Well, we'll get to that when we get to the wide receivers next week.
Is it next week?
It is. Next episode. Make sure you tune in for that one.
It might be Thursday, might be Tuesday, might be Wednesday, might be Sunday.
Might be all of them. Who knows?
No, it's not going to be everyone.
No, but I think Hollywood Brown's value goes significantly up. So I think A.J. Brown goes down a few notches. Marquise Brown goes up a few notches because he's got Kyler Murray thrown to him. He's got DeAndre Hopkins on the other side of the field. Zach Ertz is a somewhat capable tight end.
Is he still on their team?
James Conner is a very capable running back out of the backfield.
/ wide receiver.
So there's going to be a lot of guys that have to be covered. And with Hollywood Brown's speed, I think he gets open. I think he takes a jump forward this year. In other news, we're going to talk a little bit of draft news. One that sticks out to me is Malik Willis. Goes to the Titans.
Titans.
So what does that do to Ryan Tannehill?
Sits him on the bench. Okay. Maybe a year more. Maybe a year left in Ryan Tannehill. Then cut. You're gone. And then maybe Malik Willis jumps in.
Well,
maybe he does trash. Maybe he does good.
We are not sure.
Liberty,
we're not sure how Malik Willis is going to do against NFL level talent.
And also, I have some news too.
We'll get to that. Let's finish this one first. We don't know what Malik Willis is going to do in the NFL. He played for a not major college, not a D1 college. They didn't face very difficult opponents. Yes, he did really well. He dominated. I do think he deserved to be in the NFL draft, but I think it may have been a little early to take him. I think he may not have the talent they think he does in the NFL.
I did not know this.
But it could also mean that they look to trade Ryan Tannehill.
For a wide receiver?
Well, for whoever. I don't know who, but there are teams that need good quarterbacks.
And there's teams that don't need so many good wide receivers. But the Bengals do. They need to keep all of theirs until Tyler Boyd retires. And then T. Higgins.
Yes.
Jamar Chase. And then we're back to the team we were 2 years ago.
Go ahead with your news.
I have 2 pieces of news that is you probably already know this, but I didn't know this. I knew that Desmond Ridder, the Cincinnati quarterback, went to Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
And the Jets, probably in my opinion, had the best draft. That's my opinion.
So I think we could talk draft winners. We could talk who we think won the draft. I think I agree with you.
Okay, but
The Jets pulled off
the Bills,
a great draft.
another hopefully insane. I want him to do good in the NFL. Piece to their team. James Cook to the Bills.
James Cook to the Bills.
That means that their team is going to be even better. Hopefully.
That could be very interesting.
It could be the piece their team needed to win the Super Bowl.
Because if you look at the Bills' backfield, they had Devin Singletary. They drafted Zach Moss a couple years ago.
Actually, last year.
And those guys, he's played 2 seasons with them now. Those guys aren't getting it done.
No.
They're third-tier running backs at best. They're not getting the job done.
No.
Could James Cook get the job done? Could he come in and be a day one starter,
Yes.
knock both of those guys out or one of those guys out of the starting role, maybe split the backfield with Singletary, something like that?
I think Moss is better than Singletary.
I don't know. They use Singletary a lot. He's been the one that they trust and they go to when they need a play. So,
No.
but
No.
do you have breaking news?
Yes.
Breaking right now.
Yes.
What is it?
My birthday's in 15 days.
Oh, my Lanta.
So we're going to post a video on that day. Maybe. Maybe.
Caden, if you haven't noticed, Caden gets a little ADHD when he's tired. And right now we're filming this video at about 9:30 at night. He's a little tired, so he's kind of jumping topics a little bit, but that's okay. We'll hone it back in on track. Draft winner. We agree that the Jets had the best draft this year.
Yeah, they got Sauce Gardner. They got Garrett Wilson. They got...
Brees Hall.
Yeah.
They're stacking up.
And this knowledge just came to my head. You keep talking.
You keep talking. Oh man, this is supposed to be scripted better than this. Okay, no. So they get Garrett Wilson, they get Brees Hall, they get Sauce Gardner. They're stacking up. They're wanting to make a run at this thing. If Zach Wilson can be as good as they are hoping he can be,
And
they've already got Elijah Moore there.
Jets.
You couple Elijah Moore with Garrett Wilson, and then you split the backfield between Michael Carter and Brees Hall. Whew, man. And newly acquired tight end C.J. Uzama,
And
our Cincinnati
newly acquired
boy.
tight end.
Cincinnati
Jeremy
guy.
Ruckert. He also went there.
Yeah.
So I wasn't off topic. I was on topic. I just didn't know he went there.
So they have been stacking up. I tell you that, I mean, you get teams. Last year it was the Giants, right? The Giants were stacking up. They had Kenny Golladay, Saquon Barkley. They stacked up all this. Sterling Shepard. They were just stacking up, and oh man, this team is going to be great. They're going to do, and they didn't. So maybe the Jets are in the same boat where it's, there's so much excitement. They're getting all these players. This could be a really big year. They're definitely making a run at it. They're giving it their all.
Well,
if
Giants
they don't
also,
succeed, it's because somebody didn't play up to the level that they were expected to.
Sterling Shepard, not the greatest wide receiver. Neither is Kenny Galladay. They're decent, but they were better on the teams that were actually. Kenny Galladay was on the Lions, right?
He was.
Well,
they both have shown a lot of great talent and ability.
But not the Giants.
But
Daniel Jones throwing it.
Daniel Jones, and they both were fighting some injuries last year, in and out, missing a couple games here and there. Never could really get a good rhythm going. So maybe they're better this year. Who knows? But we agree the Jets won the draft as far as the picks that they made. So.
You got 4 pretty decent, really, actually, no, not decent, great. And 3 came from Ohio.
That is true.
Jeremy Rucker, Garrett Wilson,
and
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce.
Did you know?
Saucy Gardner.
This is not off topic. Well, kind of is.
Go ahead.
Did you know that Sauce Gardner has a little sauce tube, like that big probably, that he fills with sauce every day? Different kind of sauce, like it could be hot sauce, or heat sauce, or whatever it's called. It could be barbecue sauce, it could be hot sauce, it could be any sauce, and you just don't know.
He's just gotta stay saucy, and keep the sauce alive.
Hey, where's this big chain that says sauce on it?
Yeah. Well, that's gonna do it for the news for today. There's so many more we could talk about. But for the sake of time, for your attention, we want to move on. We want to jump into some Would You Rathers. Would You Rathers. This is a great segment. Opens up some good discussions. And I'm actually going to start us off. And it's funny that we were on the topic of the Jets because that is where I'm going with my first Would You Rather.
For running backs?
Would you rather have on your fantasy team Michael Carter
Or Breece Hall?
Or Breece Hall?
Michael Carter.
Michael Carter?
He's more experienced. And
He is.
He's also... Actually, let me think. Breece Hall. Who would you pick? Because I'm still kind of...
So here's where I stand with it. Michael Carter is good.
We don't know if Breece Hall is good.
Had they not drafted Breece Hall, I think Michael Carter would have been more valuable in fantasy football. Yes. But now bringing in Breece Hall,
yes,
it drags him down some. So, to me, it's really a 50-50.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, actually, Breece Hall. Because I feel like they're going to try to use him and try to see what he's doing. That's what they usually do with rookies. They might do good.
It really, to me, it really kind of, it depends on where it falls in my draft, right?
Yeah.
If I'm forced to take Michael Carter in, say, the 3rd or 4th round, I'm going to pass. But if I can pick up Michael Carter in, say, the 6th or 7th round, I think I'll go Michael Carter and roll the dice that he is still the guy. Even if it's a timeshare and he's getting 51% and Breece Hall's getting 49% of the snaps, I think I'd still go Michael Carter just because running backs don't typically come out the rookie year and crush it.
I know.
You get the occasional Christian McCaffreys and Saquon Barkley's, but we don't know if he's up to that level. So,
and like the Derrick Henrys.
Derrick Henry actually took a few years to get going.
Well,
but
okay.
But I go Michael Carter. You go Breece Hall.
Would you rather take James Conner in the 2nd round or Derrick Henry, 1st round, 1st pick?
Derrick Henry, 1st round, 1st pick, or James Conner,
2nd round.
2nd round If it's a snake draft, it'd be the last pick of the second? Or just
It's just
regular?
a regular
Okay.
draft.
So, first pick of the second round. Whew. That's tough.
I know what I'm going for.
That's tough. I think I'm going Derrick Henry first pick.
I'm going James Conner because you could get Jonathan Taylor first pick. You could get Jonathan Taylor first pick and James Conner second round.
Yeah.
First pick.
Yeah.
This might be like. So we'll put that.
Fixing the microphone. Excuse any noises here. I think you could go either way. I think you won't be disappointed because if you can't get James Conner first pick of the second round after taking Henry, you can get someone else. You can get a Josh Jacobs. You can get a Cordero Patterson, Leonard Fournette. I mean, there's still going to be top guys there that you can grab. Damian Harris, maybe. So.
All right. Can I go first?
You go first on this one.
Would you rather take David Montgomery third round? I gotta change this. I accidentally put something that I didn't want to put.
I'm excited to hear the rest of this because that first sentence is interesting. But
Would you rather take David Montgomery in the third round or not Anthony Davis? I've been playing too much 2K. Or Antonio Gibson in the fifth round.
okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting because either guy in that draft pick in that position is going to be a good value. Like, when you first said that, I'm thinking, man, I don't know that David Montgomery makes it to the third round. You know, he might go... He was ranked number 20 last year, but it's because he only played in 13 games. You know what I mean? So, had he played through the whole season and not gotten hurt, he would be much higher on the list. But I would also be very surprised if Antonio Gibson fell to number 5. To the fifth round.
Yeah.
Because he ended up number 10 last year. Played 16 games. So either one.
What round?
You said fifth for Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, but no.
I think if I had to pick between the two, I pick Antonio Gibson in the fifth because man, those other 4 rounds I could get some top tier.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, DeAndre Hopkins, there's so many guys that are going to be there. Cooper Kupp, in those first couple rounds. Sure. So
you're just like,
no. So I think I'm going Antonio Gibson in the fifth.
Because I feel like you could just get... In the third round, you could get a better wide receiver than David Montgomery or a better running back.
I mean,
honestly.
at the fifth round, you could already have your 2 starting running backs, your 2 starting wide receivers, and then you pick up Antonio Gibson as a flex player or a bench running back for bye weeks and for injuries. And I mean, that's a solid lineup.
Bye weeks killed me in fantasy. They killed me. Like Travis Kelce, I had nobody on the bench, so I had to pick up like a guy like Noah Fant.
You got to plan for those bye weeks. That's some good advice that we'll give them later on too.
Okay. You go now.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm kind of sticking with the same theme that I had in the last one.
Rookie and
not rookie, but same team running
Jets?
back. No, not the Jets, but running backs on the same team.
I was like this.
This could have been partially in our news segment. We didn't, just because there's so much other news, but Melvin Gordon re-signed with the Denver Broncos.
Oh, and Javonte Williams.
Would you rather have Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams on your fantasy team?
Javonte Williams.
Why?
Because he's younger, he's faster, he's going to be the starter.
You think so?
All rhymes also.
I mean, Melvin Gordon was pretty much the starter last year. I think they had it almost exactly 50-50 split last year.
Bang, 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 bang.
Matter of fact,
bang.
Melvin Gordon finished as the running back 17.
And he finished the 18.
And Javonte Williams finished running back 18.
Do you have that up or something?
I do have it up. They were literally... Now, here's the kicker. Melvin Gordon only played 16 games. Javonte Williams played 17. But they were literally less than 6 points different for the season. Melvin Gordon got 167.2. Javonte got 161.9. So they were right at 6 points different for the season. So running back 17, running back 18. So you picked Javonte Williams, no doubt.
Yeah, probably. Who do you pick?
I think I go with Javonte also. Because as much as I'd like to say Melvin Gordon still has some gas in the tank, it's running out. He's running on E. And Javonte Williams, towards the back half of the year, started taking more of the workload.
He's
stepping up.
He's on F.
Javonte is full. He's on full.
Yes.
Gordon's on empty. So
E.
part way through this season, Gordon
E.
runs out of gas, and Javonte just steps on the gas and runs full force. Okay.
Sports.
I am going to give you my third one real quick. Let's bust through this real quick so we can go to bed because it's late, right? So mine is, would you rather have on your fantasy team David Montgomery or DeAndre Swift?
Probably David Montgomery.
David Montgomery? DeAndre Swift finished running back 23.
Sorry.
David Montgomery, running back 20. So they were just a couple difference there.
How many games did DeAndre Swift play? I think he played 13.
They had less than 10 points difference fantasy-wise. DeAndre Swift played 13 games. David Montgomery played 14. Not a full 14, but he partook in 14 games.
I'm still picking Montgomery.
I think on that one, it's tough. But I roll the dice and I take Swift.
No.
Because he has more upside, more potential, I think. I think he's going to get a lot of the workload.
Yeah, but he's also on the Lions.
I know, but David Montgomery's on the Bears.
The Bears aren't that bad.
They're not that good.
I mean, they're not Bengals talent, but they're not Lions.
All right, so you go Montgomery, I go Swift. What's your last one?
Would you rather take Breece Hall in the third round or James Cook in the third round of a fantasy draft?
I am going to go James Cook.
Me too.
Here's why. He goes to Buffalo where they desperately need a good running back. If he steps into that role and fills those shoes, it's lights out. Whereas
like if he's Dalvin Cook, if he's like Dalvin Cook, the Bills are winning the Super Bowl. I already predicted them to win the Super Bowl, but they're going to win it even more.
Breece Hall goes to the Jets where they have Michael Carter, who is better than Devin Singletary, in my opinion. It's going to be a timeshare. He's going to be splitting the backfield with Michael Carter.
Yes.
Whereas James Cook is going to be the guy with a little timeshare with Devin Singletary or Zach Moss, whoever they decide to keep. But that's who I take. So that does it for our Would You Rather segment.
James Cook is better.
And that does it for the Father-Son Football Fanatics podcast for today. We're glad you joined us. Stay tuned, or join us back again next week.
Maybe on my birthday in 2 weeks.
Both. Next week and 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to dive into some fantasy breakdown or fantasy rankings on wide receivers. A lot of team changes on wide receivers, so it's going to be interesting to see where they fall. But make sure you like, subscribe.
Turn on post notifications.
Absolutely. Hopefully it's not too late for you when you watch this. We're a little tired, sorry, but it's been great being with you today. Tune in next week.
We're not actually with you. We're on your screen.
Oh, we're with you. We're with you right here, right in the heart.
We don't know who's watching this right now. Maybe it's somebody.
Shout out to who we think's watching it. We think Grampy's watching it. We think
If you are, comment in the comments.
give us a comment, give us some love. We think
If you're watching it on your
we think
phone.
Davey's watching us. Probably David. Maybe Matthew.
Maybe.
Cheryl. You know who you are. There's a few more. We'll shout you out next time, but we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.